Hey folks, Turbine Guy coming back at you from a very unusual place and a little part of history in Orono, Minnesota that I wanted to share with you. We are at the Seven Nations Natural Area, right on Watertown Road, which tends to have a bunch of traffic here in Orono. And I bet a bunch of people drive by this place without ever really knowing or understanding what the heck is here. Because we do have a true gem of history, a true part of Native American Minnesota history right here in Orono that nobody, I don't think, really knows about. Now, when I was a kid, right here, right where I'm showing you, of course, there's a road and the sign, there's actually a house. And the Turbine Guy came up here as a kid because we lived over in North Arm to a summer day camp. So I actually, somewhere around 1970, would come here every day in the summer. My mom would drop us off and we had a little day camp. And that's what was going on here. But now, as we can see, we've got 3 acres of prairie and wooded area. Now, what's so special about this prairie and wooded area that is called Seven Nations? Well, believe it or not, this is where 7 different Indian or Native American nations would actually come and smoke their peace pipes. Yes, this is a piece of history nobody knows about around here. Now, as we're looking this way again, see that gray house in the background? Believe it or not, this right here used to be the shores of Lake Minnetonka, or Big Water, as it was called by the Indians, or Native Americans. And the 7 different nations would come here, and they would smoke their peace pipes, and do their peace things, and have their powwows, and do what Indians or Native Americans would do back then. And this was the exact spot where they would do it. And do you know how I know that that's true? Because when I was a kid, we actually saw a few Indians still coming here and doing that. So it's so cool that right here in Orono, Minnesota, right where the lake used to be, Big Water, Lake Minnetonka, right over here, this was the shores. We had all of this, I guess, Native American community coming together to work together as a large community and try to avoid their own types of conflicts. Now, as I sit here on a bench and soak it all in, it's like you can actually feel some of the history here, and you can feel it. I strongly encourage you to bring your kids or your guests or relatives over here and go for a hike on the trails and kind of, experience all of this for yourself. Now, I'm not sure what 7 nations they were. I've been doing a little looking online and I can't necessarily figure it out. So, hey, why don't you all help the Turbine Guy a little bit and let's go through the comments and let's figure out what 7 nations actually came here to do their thing. Now, I have to say, Orono on their website merely says in the history of this property that it was donated by the Dickies. That's all they say. They don't say a doggone thing about what I just told you. And this is something that I really think we should be spreading around here. This is part of the history. This is why we need to protect the parks of Orono. This is why you, me, and I need to get out and educate ourselves on what is in our backyard. Turbine Guy, signing off.